The traders are having a lot of fun right now with Tesla. There's so much volatility. Back in the day, a few years ago, I think I would probably be making money right now, trying to pick these lows and sell off a little bit at the highs. But anyway, my best guess is that we still have a long way to go on this rally with massive, amazing news coming out, and a little bit shocked that it is down a little bit this morning, but we're down less than 1%. So here are the 10 most interesting. Oh, did I tell you that FSD 14.1 rolled out last night? I guess I didn't mention that. It rolled out before the end of the day in California, so I guess that counts as coming out on Monday. Nobody cares because this morning there are people that have put in, I think Mars and others basically drove all night and gave up early this morning after trying all kinds of tricks and trying to get the thing to do wrong things. Anyway, I had Grok compile the 10 most important things so far that all of these various people have talked about. So, number one, the official rollout begins. Tesla's AI team, 𝐓𝐿 announced that FSD 14.1, the first in the V14 series, has started deploying to customers with multiple follow-up releases promising significant improvements through the end of 2025. So not just FSD 14.1, which we thought would be a week or two later. So in a way, we're kind of early on 14.1. But there'll be 14.2, 3, 4, whatever coming up as we progress through the year. Also mentioned later, which is not in this list, is that the Cybertruck will be getting a full-on, a complete, a serious version of 14.1 that will be exactly the same. Number two, robotaxi style auto parking. The system now automatically parks the vehicle upon reaching a destination, including pulling into driveways or garages with precise alignment, often without any driver intervention, described as feeling like the freaking future by some one of the individuals who has this. Also mentioned has been pulling into driving structures, the car coming up to where the ticket needs to be taken, waiting for the passenger to grab the ticket, and then proceeding when the arm goes up. Instant engagement. Unlike previous versions, FSD 14.1 has zero delay when activating. It feels almost ready to go, instantly executing maneuvers as if it's been planning them indefinitely, leading to smoother starts from park. Number four, the front bumper camera utilization. Early tests confirm the update activity. It uses the front bumper camera for enhanced visibility, with the system throwing errors if it's obstructed, indicating deeper integration of all vehicle sensors. Number five, a sentient-like decision-making. Users report the car considering surroundings more thoughtfully, avoiding hesitation, executing confident maneuvers like U-turns in the dark, or squeezing through narrow gaps. This would be echoing Elon Musk's tease that the V14 will feel sentient. Also mentioned by some were that they went through a construction zone where the car slowed down and stopped based on a handheld sign, and then when the sign was turned to go, proceeded normally. Improved construction and debris handling. FSD 14 smoothly navigates roadblocks, obeys workers, as I just mentioned, and responds better to debris like tires or branches with enhanced fault recovery for reliability in chaotic scenarios. Number seven, parking garage mastery. I guess I already talked about that, but it says it flawlessly handles multi-story garages, waiting for ticket gates, scanning signs for exits, finding spots without repeating errors, even in complex low-light environments, turning full trips into hands-off experiences. That's what people are mentioning most of all, is that it goes from your garage to your parking. You never touch it. It does the whole 9 yards. Eight, customized speed profiles. New modes. They have new speed modes like sloth, gentle, exact speed limit adherence, hurry, which they say is assertive yet smooth acceleration, allows personalization with better overall speed handling and reduced phantom braking in some tests. Now, I read one report that somehow it can actually do a mimicking of your driving techniques. So if you choose this, it will take a look at what your driving looks like and then mimic those. That would probably not be a really good idea in my case. Number 9, destination arrival options. Users can select curbside drop-offs, charger parking, auto park, and then the system adapts intelligently, perfectly centering at superchargers and mimicking robotaxi drop-offs for seamless end-to-end autonomy. And I did hear also people saying that it will do parallel parking with, you don't even have to worry about it anymore. It just does it perfectly. Number 10, lingering edge cases. While overwhelmingly positive with zero disengagements, minor quirks persist like brief, harsh braking during routes. Tweaks are some infinite loops. So somebody found has apparently an impossible destination, and they put this impossible destination in, and the car still will do an infinite loop when it's faced with that. So in addition to all of that good news, then we have Tesla Roddy reporting this morning. Andre Thierry, who is Tesla's plant manager at the German production plant Gigafactory Berlin, tipped off what is likely coming today now, at the product unveiling, as he revealed they had an internal event, and apparently people leaked what happened at the internal event. That Model Y Lite, there's another name for it, Model Y Lite, will begin service production and deliveries in a few weeks. Thierry's revealing of plans was reported in Handelsblatt, a German media outlet. The description of the light version of the Model Y aligns with what CEO Elon Musk said earlier this year, as well as what we've been seeing on public roads, both covered and uncovered. Last week, we finally saw an uncovered version, Tesla Roddy reports, version of what was the affordable Model Y likely is, and it's cruising around near Gigafactory, Texas, just outside of Austin. Musk said earlier this year, candidly during an earnings call, that the affordable model Tesla planned to release was a Model Y. It's just a Model Y. There, the cat's out of the bag. That's what Elon had said at that time. The images of what we assume to be the affordable model lined up with Musk's candid statement. Tesla's expected to unveil its affordable model tomorrow during the planned event, and that's been teased, as we know. Pricing and other details are still pending, but the company is expected to reveal that information later today. The good news is it appears Berlin will be making this version. That's me talking. That's the good news. So Berlin, at least, we assumed the United States, but now we got Berlin apparently going to be making it in a couple of weeks. We don't know about Shanghai yet, but also in this leak, which Tesla Roddy did not report on, and so maybe it isn't true, or maybe it isn't, none of it's true, because we don't know. Part of the information leaked was that the new version would be about 10% less expensive. That would be about $4,500 or less off of the price. That would not be a happy thing, which maybe that little tiny piece of bad news is what is impacting the stock this morning. I don't know for sure. Obviously, I don't know for sure. How about that? Mario Nawfal has this. Tesla's Optimus steals the show at the premiere of Tron. Optimus hit the red carpet in Hollywood, literally striking kung fu poses along Jared Leto, I don't know, as Tron at an Ares premiere last night. So that was very interesting. If you want to see those videos of Optimus doing these poses and dealing with the interested crowd at the premiere, you can find those on X. So last night, when Brian Wang was on the show, and we talked about a video that Tesla had released over the weekend, showing a capacity of 1,000 Model YL vehicles per week in Shanghai. We got huge amounts of interest in that video, and I just want to say, this build time of 2.5 hours, this compares to Volkswagen at 30 hours and the regular Model Y at 10 hours. And if you didn't pick up on this last night, you want to go back and watch it. This is huge for the cost of goods on the Model YL. This means that dramatically reducing the costs in terms of labor, because 95% by robots, but also the labor and also the overhead, because you're getting more throughput. Now, the big question, the question that we asked last night, and the question I want somebody to ask Elon at the upcoming earnings call just 2 weeks and a day from now is, are we going to be able to duplicate all of this Model Y/L improvement on regular Model Ys and Model 3s in order to get these savings? So that's what I want to know. And also, more production. So FSD supervised V14 version 14.1 delivers a 10x leap in neural network parameters, transforming end-to-end driving into something that feels truly alive. And here's the list of what it's supposed to do according to the release. 10x model size scaling for richer world for vastly richer world understanding. There's no real in there. Native audio inputs to detect and yield to emergency vehicles. Good. 3x model content length scaling for better long horizon planning. Dramatically improving parking lot navigation, including self-parking and spot selection. Pothole detection and avoidance using fleet-learned environmental cues. Enhanced handling of complex urban scenarios, nuanced merges, gap acceptance, and unprotected turns, reduced driver monitoring strictness with strikes forgiven in half the time. There you go. Golden visualizations for robotaxi paths and idle states, previewing unsupervised autonomy. So there's something called hands off. So maybe there are times when you completely don't have to pay attention. I don't know. We'll see. Full Cybertruck integration, unlocking Smart Summon and the complete FSD suite, and then smoother edge cases responses from first responder traffic direction to dense pedestrian zones. Upcoming improvements, I guess, on 14.2, etc. Further, another 2 times parameter scaling in version 14.2 for emergent sentient decision making. Integrated pickup drop-off zone recognition at airports and events. Wow. Advanced occlusion recovery with predictive multi-camera fusion. Dynamic speed adaptation for construction and variable weather, and fleet-wide dynamic routing for full-time incident avoidance, including multimodal alerts. So now we'll have alerts that they'll be talking to us as well as flashing us, etc., when there's some kind of an issue we need to deal with. Well, there you go. There's the Tesla news of the day. We'll get into the regular news now, but first I have to tell you that this is Randy Kirk. First, on the regular or the general news is FactSet analysts have the average earnings per share for 2025 now showing a 10% increase compared to 2024, which still looks like that might be beat, but that's what they're showing right now, 10% increase on earnings over 2024, and now showing a 12% increase in 2026 over 2025. If they're right, the bull market is going to continue for absolute certainty. Investment giant Carlyle is trying to fill in the blanks where the government isn't reporting right now because it's shut down. They estimate the jobs would have increased 17,000 in September, which the headlines are saying, a horrible number, but guess what? That's right in line with my predictions and my expectations. And they also say that the GDP they think is up 2.7% for the third quarter. That would be pretty fabulous. And that is, of course, GDP right now is showing a 3.8%, which would be even more fabulous. But anyway, there is another demographic. Last night, Sunday night, I did this whole thing on demographics. And I think that I needed to add one, something that I didn't think through fully, and I want to talk about this one. This is a demographic that almost nobody's paying attention to, except the universities. They're paying very close attention to this problem, and this is called the demographic cliff. This school year, right now that we're already in, is the peak year in population of 18-year-olds. It's from now on, 18-year-olds going down, okay? So they will be going down the next 5 years at least, and the total number of those turning 18 will start dropping by about 100,000 per year over the next 5 years, from about 4.5 million this year to about 4.1 million in 2029. Now, what does this say? What does this tell us? Well, obviously the universities care about it, but also it means that the workforce is not going to be increasing as much as it has been in the past. We've been seeing, slight increases in the 18-year-old component, but now we're going to see decreases. And that, in addition to the decreases in terms of out migration, which we don't expect to stop, at least not until the midterms of next year. Maybe after the midterms, they'll figure out that it's time to slow down on the out migration. I don't know. We'll see what happens. Or maybe they'll start bringing in more people on different visas for very specific jobs that have been vetted. Anyway, this is going to make workers more scarce. And this, I know it sounds like a very small number, 100,000, but guess what? We only had 22,000 new people entering or getting jobs last month, and maybe Carlisle's right about the 17,000 this September. So 100,000 fewer people would be important. By September 2025, estimates suggest, let's see, I'm sorry, this is on gold now. I didn't make good markings for myself because I have most of this news this morning that I'm giving you is news that I've specifically compiled using Grok and other sources rather than just news stories. So this is on gold. I told you last night I would be checking on gold and natural gas. By September 2025, estimates suggest cumulative purchases exceeding 1,650 tons for this year, surpassing 2024's record by 17%. This would be the sovereign wealth funds and or central banks. Major markets, major companies like China, Turkey, Poland leading. They will be picking up about 900 tons of that 1650. So you got those three countries. These are Turkey and Poland are like the big deal right now in Europe. The traditional Western countries are kind of, they're all consumed with their immigration problems. And these countries, Turkey and Poland in particular, are really excelling right now. And they, in addition to China, are buying up a lot of gold. This buying trend rebounded in late summer with net additions of 10 tons in July, 15 tons in August alone. Analysts widely credit this official sector demand as the anchor of the rally, with surveys showing 95% of central banks expecting further global reserve growth in 2026. Without this sustained buying, prices would likely have faced more downward pressure from softening retail volumes. But individual purchases in China, South Korea, and the US, they're supporting this rally as well. Individual buying for jewelry and physical bars and coins and ETF investments have been resilient in the markets, reflecting safe haven buying amid economic worries, a cultural affinity for gold. However, it represents a smaller slice of global demand, but it's still about 25 to 30%. So anyway, that's what's happening with gold. It's at 4,000 this morning, roughly. We'll get to that in just a second. But I believe that it's going to have a hard time getting above 4,000 on a sustained basis. And then I think it's going to probably come down from 4,000, at least for now. Listen, it could still go up to 5,000 immediately, or it could cool off for a while and start heading to 5,000 a year from now. But I do think that right now it's gone too far too fast. That's just me. Natural gas exports are up. So this is, I think it was Larry who said this, exports are up. U.S. production is not keeping up with the exports. So there's a lot of LNG going out the door, but U.S. production is not keeping up. Then we got the winter. According to Grok, this was another major impact is there are people that are buying up for winter. And then AI demands, which I think everybody's talked about. This is having some impact at this point. As many people have pointed out, this is going to potentially, already is, and it could potentially be impacting electricity prices in some regions. Trump is up this morning just a little bit from 46 to 47%. That's still at the low end of his range. True inflation up a little tiny bit, I think from 2.24 to 2.3 this morning. Um, Remember, subtract zero point 0.4 and you're still under 2. And then on the year over year at 2.12. And we will have the GDP now numbers tomorrow morning, if not later today. I'll have those numbers for you. And consumer credit later today. Tesla is down even a little more than it was before. We're sitting at 447.72. That's still an awfully good number compared to the 430 we were just, Friday? Anyway, so down 1.22%. I don't know. I have the sense that we're going to be back in the green later today, but I could be wrong. Okay, what about the rest of we got the Dow is down just a little. It's been falling. It's down. Now, it was in the green, now in the red at 0.2 down. We have got NASDAQ up slightly, 0.03 up. But it was up more earlier, and the S&P also sliding down from the green into the red, down 0.05. We've got the Magnificent Seven, which is mostly in the red, but Amazon and NVIDIA up strongly, 1.45, correcting its fall yesterday. And the Cathie Woods are now mostly down. It's a really quite a mixed bag. In fact, I think it's about 50-50, but trending down. So things were better earlier this morning, but now trending a little bit down. No particular reason I don't think that I can find for that. I would call this more of a sideways market. I think that's my general feeling. We're kind of going sideways right now. All right, what about the bonds? Well, guess what? I don't know. We'll find out if it's still true. Sitting at 4.144. So that's under 4.15. Thank you very much. Down 1.8 basis points this morning. All right, there we go. We have got oil backing off of its increase yesterday, down to $61.32. That's down 37 cents. Natural gas, as we just talked about, up 2.68% to $30.45. Gold, 3,996.70. I take another bow. Thank you very much. Thank you very much. At least for a day. We'll see what happens tomorrow. And silver is already backing away because it's run up. I think it's run up even more than gold on a percentage basis. $47.96. You could call that $48 if you want. Copper up 1.49% this morning. You got the dollar, say it all together now, mixed. And people are talking about the dollar going down more. I don't know. I think maybe not. I think we might see the dollar begin to improve, which would also push gold down. We've got Bitcoin down 2,510 after breaking all-time highs. This is 123,000 right now. And those are the numbers this morning. Later on today, we have Daddy coming back. We got Nicholas Gibbs. He's got a 2-week-old. Maybe he'll be shouldering his 2-week-old during the show. We'll see what happens. But Nick will be back this afternoon, and that'll be followed by another Brian White show. You loved what Brian had to say last night. Well, if you love that, wait till you hear what he's got to say tonight. It's a very fabulous. Of course, that's already been produced yesterday, so I already know it's there, and it's a goodie. So we'll look forward to seeing you on those 2 occasions later today. So per that conversation, let me just throw you back to massively popular shows last night, both Brian Wang and Brian White. I'll put both cards up. The Brian Wang thing was incredible, where he talked about that factory, but there was way more, so much more to that show than just the factory spitting out those Model YLs so rapidly. That is a breakthrough. That should be at the top of everybody's list of what matters, and yet there's nothing, zip zero, in the media about that on the weekend. In fact, there was zip zero from the community. Nobody got it except Brian. That's why we have Brian on the show. All right, that's all I got for you right now. Oh, you want me to go back and check Tesla one more time? Well, I don't like it when it's going down. We'll check it though. Okay, we got it down. Yep, down a little more. 445.81, down 1.64%. And now all the equities are in the red slightly. I'm still calling this a sideways market. All right, that's all I got for you. It's been great talking to you.